Perfect, he says. Well, yeah, of course I've been watching, Andy. I mean, it's not the bad boys from Detroit back-to-back champions, of course, but, you know, I've been watching. It's weird watching Boston not playing in the Garden. Yeah. You know, I think that's still the same parquet floor. If I do that Bird and Ainge and all the players that us Piston fans hated. You mentioned lawyers earlier. We were talking about lawyers.
Yeah.
And, you know, the stance of lawyers, and my stance is this. Any profession that has so many jokes about it, you know, bad lawyer jokes, crooked lawyer jokes. I've never heard a good lawyer story, have you? Yeah, come on, people. And you know what those lawyers end up doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, they end up being politicians. All your presidents. Think about your presidents. They're all graduates from Harvard, Yale, Princeton. You'd think that lawyers that were smart enough wouldn't go into politics in the first place, and if they did, they wouldn't keep pulling the same bonehead lawyer crap when they're elected in the Senate or representative or president or wherever they're at. They only have their own interest at heart. Lawyers, politicians, they don't represent you and me, and you out there and me. Nobody in Washington does. Nobody. Okay? They're too busy bickering and arguing and lobbyists and self-serving and agendas, and you know, it's the same bird, different wings. Most of you haven't had that figured out yet. Oh, the far left is right. The far right is right. The bird wing can only spread. It's the same bird. They don't care about you, the voters. Look what they did with I-90 in Montana. They rewrote it. They made it so more of the money went to law enforcement and retirement funds and things like that, and less money went to schools, mental health, and things like that. They did kick some money into drug treatment programs, but not enough. You know, here in Great Falls, if you have a card or not, you want to purchase a legal product, you have to go out to the dump, you know, heavy industrial areas. So, an example of how politicians and lawyers don't have our best interest in mind. They have their own. I mean, let's talk about the best known world famous lawyers. Anybody know a really, really, really good lawyer that's famous? I know a whole bunch of lawyers that are defense lawyers that are famous, like Shapiro, Cochran, Robert Kardashian. Yes, I did say yes. I said Kardashian. And yes, there was life before Keeping Up with the Kardashians. When they were still kids, their dad was a famous attorney, worked with F. Lee Bailey. That was part of the O.J. Dream Team. Guilty! I'm guilty! That's what they did. They got O.J. off. They're famous. Never mind that O.J. was a batterer, a murderer. They got him off. Now they're famous. Johnny Depp's lawyer, they're involved in a scandalous Amber Heard, Johnny Depp. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. The lawyers are getting famous. Not the lawyers that are doing the job, the lawyers that are slinging mud, you know, and putting people up on Front Street. So, you know, I know that I'm going on, but I mean, how do you greet a lawyer in the morning? I've seen a couple in the hall. How do you greet them in the morning when they only have an IQ of 50? Well, that's obvious. Good morning, Senator. Good morning, Representative. Mr. President. Now, while we're talking about lawyers, bad lawyer jokes, and lawyer this, and how they're turned into politicians, we got a big fight in Washington with lawyers and with politicians going on. Andy, I'm going to need a number. Can you pull it up for me? How many mass shootings as of this morning, Monday? I don't even have glasses.
Oh,
May 23rd.
Well, last count, we were looking at 212 mass shootings so far just this calendar year.
This morning.
Yeah.
Holy Moses, people. Now, before we're going to start going into these mass shootings, let's talk about something. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That's the Second Amendment, people. This is like written for a reason. Okay? This was written not for squirrel hunters and recreational hunters. This was written for a newly formed nation that had just escaped religious persecution, the king and the crown, and a revolution. It was written to ensure that the government and or outside forces would never do that again. Hence in World War II, when they asked Japan, why didn't you think about storming the mainland? Because there's a gun behind every blade of grass. That amendment is written for that. It's not for people that are out hunting squirrels, for crying out loud. Okay? It's so you can have your arms in case your government, you've been watching the government, everybody? Anybody been watching, paying attention out there? Okay? Whatever the government has, I should be able to have, first of all. Second Amendment says right to bear arms. If they're bearing Humvees with automatic gun turrets, I should have a tank in my freaking garage and an F-16 parked in the backyard just in case. All right? Not to mention assorted small arms, large arms, and maybe a howitzer or two. All right? The Supreme Court has ruled time and time and time and time again over the citizens' right to bear and keep arms. Now, I'm sure you're out thinking, well then, heck with it, Pipewrench, everyone, we should have gunfights in the streets. Well, there should be regulations. There should be safeguards. Okay? They should run background checks. They're not working, so we need to figure out why that system of background checks is not working. You need to check for mental health issues. There needs to be a national database once a person applies so that if they get turned down in Montana, they can't just run to Wyoming and get a gun because they're not in that database. And you see what I'm saying? It needs to be secure. We need education. When I was a kid, and I know here we go all the time, when I was a kid, wasn't so bad. When I was a kid, I remember, when was hunter safety for you? Was it
7th grade.
7th grade. I think I did it in 8th grade. I came to Montana, and the first thing they did, I moved here, and the first thing they did was put a gun in my hand, put me in a classroom, and taught me how to use that gun. I remember in high school, in the fall, the whole parking lot would be full of trucks with gun racks. Then the cool kids that didn't have trucks would have like a 30-06 thrown in the back of their Impala. Okay? We'd go to the shop, and the shop teacher would take us out and show us the new 30-30 he got for hunting this fall. We had hunter safety, like I said. Why wasn't there all sorts of shootings back then? We didn't even think of it. Okay? We didn't even think. It didn't cross our minds. Okay? This is not a gun problem. And I'm sorry for you people who think they should take away all of our guns. Good luck with that. This is a societal problem. Kids today, I got bullied at school, I'm going to go shoot 12 people. I don't like my hamburger at McDonald's, I'm going to go shoot 12 people. We got a bunch of wusses and punks and pussies running around. I'm sorry. And we make famous the people that pull the trigger. I'll bet you anybody that's watching right now can tell me right now who the two boys were that killed all them kids in Columbine back in the 90s, which kind of started all this. Bet you heard one of their names. I'm not even going to say them. Damn punks. It's a societal problem. We didn't do this when I was a kid. This started at a different time. We had fights, everybody get angry. They'd take it out the parking lot. They'd handle it. It'd be over. Once I graduated, bar fights, it'd be over. Now they're driving by killing kids, killing dogs, killing grandmas. Do we need regulation? Yes, we do. We need gangbangers with felony records not to have guns. We need law-abiding citizens to have guns. It's been proven time and time and time again. If you're armed and a criminal's armed, they're going to think twice of coming after you because they don't want to get hurt. They're inherently cowards. Guns keep other people safe. There's countless stories of people breaking into houses. There was just a carjacking down in Florida. We'll talk about Florida. Florida, but there was a carjacking down in Florida. The guy pulled the door open, pulled the gun on the guy at a C6 Corvette or something like that. Really looked like a Ferrari to me. Guy pulled down his console, shot the guy so many times he was running away and fell dead in the street. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. So, I guess if you're asking if I'm pro-guns, yeah, I'm pro-guns, pro-Humvees, pro-airplanes, jet fighters, tanks, howitzers. If your kid's shooting up the school, it's your kid's fault. Crime all the way's gone out. Social media, people are going crazy. They're nuts. Back home, it's crazy. So, people problem. We need regulations. But remember, people, the Constitution wasn't written for the squirrel hunters that you need a musket. It's not what they meant. If you've been watching TV, if you've been watching me, you should be stocking up on ammo, canned goods, water, dog food. Second Amendment's going to come in pretty handy. Can you see Vladimir wanting to come over here? Yeah, he's seeing. He's seeing. So, I could beat like a horse. It's a societal problem. We need to weed the people out that shouldn't have guns, and everybody else should have guns. So, that's what I think. So, it is sure hot back east.
Yeah.
Oh man, our other offices are back there in the Boston area, and it has been in the hundreds. all weekend long. And Monday morning, it still looks scorching. So, speaking of back east, I don't know about you guys, but I love deli food. And being from back east, a deli to me is an old Jewish couple or an old Italian couple whose parents came over on the boats, who've been married 100 years, and that's where you go eat. The other day, I went in and asked the deli if they had a Rachael.
A Rachael?
Yes.
Sounds like the chick from Friends, what?
Not the chick from Friends.
Rachael Ray? Ooh, I'd like
Not the Rachael Ray either. A Rachael is a Reuben sandwich made with pastrami instead of corned beef. And for those of you that do not know what a Reuben is, it is a grilled sandwich with pastrami, Swiss cheese, Russian and or Thousand Island. I prefer Russian, even though Russia's pissing me off right now. And sauerkraut. It's usually done on rye bread. I can't stand rye bread. I don't like caraway seeds. I don't like pumpernickel seeds. I don't like any of that seeds. And I mean, back east, you go to the Jewish deli and you say, can I have a Rachael on, toasted wheat? And bingo! You got it because it's the old Jewish couple. Here you go into the deli at Albertsons. It's owned by Mormons. They're going to want to, come to your house and witness. They don't know what a Rachael is. So I'm in the hunt for the best pastrami in Great Falls. So if anybody can let me know. We are looking for pastrami. They're in the hunt for Rachael. Not Rachael Gray. Not all of that. Andy, I got 2 words right now on this Monday morning. Monkey pox. Can you believe it? They're already talking. Yeah, they're already talking. Vaccines, masks, lockdowns.
It's not going to end now, is it? They're just going to keep going.
It's like monkey pox my ass. All right? We're not going to buy the monkey pox. I've read it already on Google. It's not very contagious. Standard, it's like tomorrow they're going to be locking us down, wearing a mask, getting a vaccine. Remember what I said about that Second Amendment?
Yeah.
Oh, man. We're not going to talk about old white men in Texas telling women what they can do with their bodies anymore. Do you know why?
Why is that, Pipe?
Florida. Florida has taken the lead as the most dangerous state to live in if you are a woman, a black person, a Hispanic, a gay person, a trans person, or a dog. Those people need to leave Florida as soon as possible. It's a dangerous place for you to be. Don't move to Texas. Russia came out with a quote. Their prime minister, nuclear, saber-rattling boy. We've killed your mothers, we've killed your fathers, we've killed your children, we've killed your dogs. But still you fight. Well, hell yeah. Duh. Shit, if you did all... He's a dumbass, ain't he? I mean, and the rest of the world is still NATO. I've said it once and I'll say it again. Russia's already shown that they can't beat Ukraine. What the heck are we waiting for? Let's pack everybody up, go over there, kick their butts, be done with it. They're weakened. Muhammad Ali, the greatest, was in the ring with Joe Frazier. He'd have knocked his ass out by now, but still we just talk. Mike Judge. They're back. Yeah, they're back. Yeah, Mike Judge announced last week that Beavis and Butthead are coming back. I've seen some of the sketches. They are hysterical. Beavis is old, Butthead is fat, bald. It's wonderful. Andy, we're done. You're giving me that wheel sign.
Yeah, wrap it up. But we got the last summertime's coming. We got that other PSA we got to do.
Yeah, summertime is here.
Summer we got to bring that one out.
Summertime's here. When you're out in the summertime and it's 70 degrees out, not bad, is it? You leave your dog in a closed-up car at 70 degrees. Within an hour, it's 119 degrees in that car. Please, 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 don't even take your dogs with you when it gets warm. They don't need to be in the car. I know. If you have a husky, they're going to be, I want to go, no. You're the boss. No dogs in the cars in the summer. Windows, we'll leave the air conditioning on. It just takes a mistake. That's all it takes. So, wind up, we're going to make sure that everybody spades and neuters. The Russian war is still going on, so keep continuing with your duck and cover drills. Kiss your dogs. Have a great, great May 23rd. We will see you next Monday. We are out of here, Andy.